I don't know if my 21F, X, 34 male has been grooming me. I recently got out of a 5-year relationship with my ex. It was a LDR, we met through a game. I never met him in real life. Throughout the whole relationship, he was oddly possessive, demanding to know what outfits I wore, told me to wear longer skirts, no crop tops, etc. He would get very angry when I did not text him back for more than a few hours, even when I was in school. He would call me names and say that I'm a SLT if I didn't tell him where I went and who I was with. He also made me block every male friend on my social media. He would ask for nudes and get mad at me if I refused to take pics in certain positions for him, some of which were very embarrassing for me. He also demanded that my face was in the pictures, even though I was underage. I heard of grooming, but I always felt that our age difference was not too big because he told me that I'm very mature for my age. Nowadays I think back and it's a bit creepy, especially since he was my first boyfriend. I have since felt terrible about the whole relationship, and not only did I feel like I missed out on so many experiences that I couldn't make because my ex insisted on tracking everything I do, but I also feel disgusted at myself. Even though we never met, it feels like he was grooming me, but I don't know if it's right to compare this to actual predatory situations. I have never told anyone and don't know if I should. He literally wanted nudes from a minor, knowing they're a minor, and then played mind games for years. Yes, this was grooming. He is a predator. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's possible your pictures have been shared. If you have any real information about him, he should be reported to the authorities as soon as possible. He is likely doing this to other young girls right now. So your relationship started when you were 16 and he was 29? Yeah, that sounds like grooming and pedophilia to me. Yes. He groomed you and is a predator. You were 16 when you first started with a 29-year-old. Confused during situationship. I, F21, have been texting this guy, M22, for about 3 months now. We share the same interests and we get along pretty easily. We've never faced a situation where an awkward silence would happen or anything similar. He did tell me he was a pretty much busy guy and has trouble texting fast and doesn't like too much texting. However, we still made it work somehow, and we exchanged hash and socials almost instantly because we had good chemistry, and he asks for my opinion and listens to me. However, a month ago, I distanced myself because he took a whole 2 days to reply to a simple message and I was not having it. He kept watching my stories and liking my pictures. I did as well. And we somehow started to text again. Everything was going fine until 2 days ago I texted him something and he didn't reply until today. He did watch my stories and liked my pictures. Fact to keep in mind, he did tell me he was gonna be busy with interviews and job offers these weeks, but it doesn't take that much to reply to a message, or does it? I don't know what I should do because I feel a bit lost and confused. I don't know if I should express how I feel about this and come up with a solution, or just like the messages and move on or ignore. I don't know. Thank you. Assigning that much weight to text message response delays seems way too stressful to me. I am thinking he read the message, thought about, and his train of thought got lost and then forgot you sent him a message until he checked messages at a later date to message you and then noticed he forgot to reply. I know I've done it so many times, happens a lot with people with ADHD like me, but it happens to everyone. You need to use some logic here. You said it yourself, he watches and likes stories, stuff you post. If he was faking not seeing texts or SMTH, he would simply ignore everything, including stories, pictures, texts. Is there some commitment or agreement you guys made that I'm missing? Do you have the impression of exclusivity? Because if he reading stories online and told you he will text you when he's ready, or are you just another interview? Is this a texting-only relationship? My daughter can't wash herself and she's miserable. I have to do it. My daughter is 17, and she was in a major car accident with her friends a couple weeks ago. Her friends were all only minorly injured, but she was hurt pretty bad and had to have surgery. She just recently was released from the hospital. She doesn't have enough range of motion right now, and after returning from the hospital I had to give her a bath. She kept her eyes closed the entire time, and after I finished and left the bathroom, I heard her crying in the tub. I've done it a few times since then, and she's always completely silent during it and often breaks down after it. I don't know how to help her. I hate seeing her like this and I want to cheer her up in any way I can, but I don't know how to do it and how to make this easier for her. She's always been highly independent and she's always preferred doing things herself, and I know this is so hard for her considering she really can't. School is also starting very soon and I know she's already thinking about how she's going to have to go in her casts, and she won't be able to do all the things she was excited for in her senior year. Ever since the accident, she's much more withdrawn and now doesn't hang out with her friends or do any of the things she likes to do, she mostly just sits in her room. She's been in therapy for a while, but some of these days she barely feels up to her sessions. Does anyone know anything that I could possibly do? I'll do anything. She was in a major car accident, was hurt pretty badly, and had to have surgery, is probably in pain, has lost a lot of independence, is upset about how this is going to affect her senior year. Of course she is withdrawn, down, and possibly depressed. Glad to hear she has a therapist. Encourage her to talk with her therapist about what she's going through. Ask how you can best help her. Perhaps she'd prefer someone else to help bathe her. But there isn't much you can do to fix this. It's a process she'll have to go through. Be there and try to make plans. Movie marathon? Listening to an audiobook together? A craft session? But also, it's okay for her to feel upset and sad and mad about what happened. Can she put on a swimsuit? Is it the naked factor? I'm sure it feels kind of degrading as being bathed is usually associated with babies and old people. Would having a professional home health aide come in for the bathing make her more comfortable? Split income and expenses with fiancé, now they're earning more. I feel they have a trump card. Hi all, thanks for the help. A tale as old as time. Money and relationships. I, 30 male, started sharing accounts and being all in with my 31 female partner about 3 years ago. The only thing we haven't been transparent about was me saving cash on the side to get her a ring from tips at work over a few years. Up until last year I was earning about the same as her. Year before that I earned more. I feel that I did a good job of making sure we both had our fair vote and never going forward on something without her approval. I grew up poorer than poor and had to really struggle to get where I'm at without an education. She had a fully paid ride which she deserved and made the most of, and she also was in a relationship before where the person who earned more took control of decisions, so I didn't expect this to arise. Now she's earning much, much more than I am. We have 3 big things on the horizon: house, a second vehicle, moving rural, and a wedding. I wanted a 10K cap on wedding but understand she is really into it, was willing to do 15K and put in hundreds of hours to save expenses on food and stuff. Looks like the decision has been made at $25,000. I've always wanted a truck and we've been driving my car that I maintain since being together. She likes SUVs. Looks like she's getting in SUV. I wanted to live on a plot of land so I can do some homesteading. She's now firm on being in the suburbs. She never explicitly says, I earn more so what I say goes, but it seems since her income passed mine my vote isn't equal to 50% anymore. It's almost more annoying that she asks for my opinion relentlessly just to chop it down. It hurts because I want us to earn more as a unit for more opportunities for future kids. When I earn more I feel like I'm wearing the pants, but making sure we're both represented equally. Now she's wearing the pants, but can't resist the power. Do I not get a say because this extra income is her accomplishment? She worked hard and is reaping the benefits. I don't want to get in the way of that. But heart of hearts I think she's bad with money. She's always disappointed with what she purchases. She'll drop large sums on stuff she doesn't really need because money has always landed on her lap and she has an "it'll all work out" attitude, because it always has for her. Any advice on how to navigate this? TLDR. Partner is making more and calling the shots. When I was earning more I didn't. Edit. Sorry for being bitter, but a better way of phrasing my sentiment. The big question should have been, considering our shared arrangement, am I justified in continuing to put my foot down against expenses I see as wasteful despite her earning more now? And I'm not leaving her. We communicate a lot. I'm not asking here instead of her. I shared I made this post. We talk all the time and are candid. She hasn't expressed that she thinks she deserves a bigger vote. She just keeps wanting to get my approval on things that are wasteful and I'm starting to question whether I should have a say. Have felt guilty about being a downer to her success and let things slide that I'm feeling are wasteful. Pump the brakes hard on engagement. You have different views on your finances and need to get on the same page. You also aren't making big decisions together. This is where most marriages fail. You both need to sit down and hash out your values and goals. Have you tried talking to her about it? Directly, I mean. Don't marry her and end this relationship. Time won't make it better. You want different things and a different lifestyle. You are already feeling unhappy. It will become worse. You just misjudged the relationship dynamic.